live. I'll post the links once
We're
they're
going
ready.
live. Live streaming now has begun. Welcome everyone.
Woo! Watch party, watch party.
Mommy, do you want to?
Hi.
Okay, that's a fabulous photo of Jeff Metzler.
His professional look.
Yeah.
What was that? Who was that?
It's Lisa from Texas. That was a fabulous photo.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. We're so glad that you're here. We're really grateful for your participation and supporting the election and Broadway for Biden as well. So thank you.
Lisa is a delegate from Texas. Very active woman for Biden. Yes. And
I used to live in the Woodlands.
I mean, the flare going on down here.
You can tell they definitely do it bigger. So we're excited that you're here. Lisa, who are you most excited to hear tonight speak?
Are you kidding? Well, of course, Joe Biden. Very pumped up to hear him. I think everyone on here has worked incredibly hard for this moment. So I'm not saying that I'm ready to hear everyone, but I'm kind of ready to hear everyone. So, okay, this bottle is not actually full. This is a popper for the confetti to come out later on.
That's right. Get it ready, raring and ready to go. Speaking of, what is everyone else drinking? My girlfriend just made me a nice little margarita. So.
It looks like water. It is vodka. This is what the last 4 years has done to me. Just vodka.
Straight vodka, brave.
It's like an infused with like grapefruit, but it's just vodka, really.
Oh, like I said, I'm going to be in and out because I got to eat, and I will not do that on Zoom. I will not force you people to watch me put food in my mouth, but I am here all night long for Joe Biden.
Biden Harris.
I just want to publicly say, Nikki, I love you.
I love you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm super fangirling right now. All of you women are incredible, and I've been fans of yours for so long. So it's really an honor to just be in these boxes with you.
And I am wearing pants. I feel like people don't wear pants on Zoom. I am wearing pants. Hard pants. These are jeans. I'm wearing hard pants for Joe tonight. I put on a shirt and pants.
Ladies, the Washington Post is reporting on this. Can I take a screenshot of this like baller crew?
Yeah.
Is everyone okay with that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. I'm gonna do it right now. Are you ready?
Post for Biden.
1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you all. Washington Post, here we go.
Woo!
Show.
All right, y'all, we are letting people into the Zoom room.
Is there like a direct link? Is it the one that I've been posting?
The Mobilize?
I think.
Yep.
Can we put that in the chat as well?
We sure can.
Yes, the people are coming.
And we have a full lineup tonight of incredible performances that we are looking forward to and all kinds of fun speeches. We are also going to be doing an activation tonight. So if you can, download the Vote Joe app onto your phone, and you will find out why very, very soon. So is anyone able to check out the Instagram live? If you go right now, there is an incredible pianist who is playing piano on the Broadway for Biden Instagram. A fun chance to just jump in and sing a song with someone. We're going to be doing this karaoke style for the next few weeks. If you've never done Instagram karaoke, it's worth it.
Oh.
on Broadway for Biden on Instagram?
Yeah, he just logged out. He's logging back in. He's coming back. Yeah, he's keeping the party going.
That's right. And Stephanie is going to also be keeping this party going. So we'll be hosting with you all night tonight. So looking forward to it. And we're just absolutely beyond thrilled that you're here. Stephanie, tell us, who's been your favorite speaker so far of all of the convention?
It's been, okay, I know it's like such a ridiculous thing to say. Like it's a toss up between Obama and Kamala, but like it was. I think I cried more during Kamala's because that was Hope. And even though Hope was Obama's thing, it made me just miss him so much. So that was, I think Kamala. And these are my notes just got printed for the night and they are illegible. So we're gonna work on that. Yeah, I'm excited. I think for tonight, the speech I'm most excited for is Joe, just because he needs to, I think he, like in a controlled speech room, is actually going to really shine and like show us like a side of Joe that I think we've all been like longing to see and needing to see. And I'm just very excited for that to like be revealed tonight. I will miss the balloons though. The balloon drop is like a real loss with this virtual stuff. What about you, Halle?
I mean, obviously we're waiting for that moment that it's official, you know, we've been going through four nights of this. And I mean, I'm just waiting for that moment to see everyone on stage. But Kamala for me, just took the cake. And I think she did an amazing job speaking after Barack, which like, who wants to sign up for that? But she was incredible. And I was a puddle the entire evening. Yeah. Who else has been watching throughout the night? Krystal.
Hey, yeah, I've been watching with my family, and it's been feeling kind of like historic and also like restoring hope and faith. And it's just like been beautiful to see all of the indigenous people represented, all the Black people represented, like the pure diversity of this country that's been represented has been beautiful. It's been something that I think that my soul deeply needed, just to kind of sit there and see all of this. And I feel like production value wise, it's absolutely stunning. Like I think that they've done a fantastic job at making it feel somehow intimate and somehow connected, more so than I've seen in other actual like big conventions where you're kind of like, oh, there's all these people and it just feels like this big fanfare. This feels like specific and really pointed. Some of the speeches and commentary from the immigrant families, the dreamers, those really broke my heart. I cried hard a lot last night. And watching also that family that voted for Trump and lost their father, that's just horrifying. And that's what a lot of people are going through. Seeing Kamala be warm and personable and this amazing Black woman, and how her blood just represents so much of this country, you know, immigration, being Black, like just she has it all. And she's really strong. And I'm excited to see more of that and see them, how they work together. And I'm definitely excited to see how more young people are integrated into this program, because I know a lot of us progressives are like, we're here for you. We want to hear what you have to say, and we're here for it. So yeah, it's been pretty amazing so far. I've been like really energized.
Yeah, it's been motivating, and I'm feeling optimistic, and obviously very excited for this official nomination to happen and to kick off. It's been a great week so far. So just want to say that we will be streaming tonight through the demconvention.com website, which is free and available to all. We are also using CNN, and they're linked together. So if you've got CNN on your TV, that's awesome. If you've got demconvention.com, either way works. We should be pretty closely in sync, and we'll be following along throughout the night. So unbelievably excited about the performers that we've got on screen with us tonight, who will be sharing their stories, sharing their words, sharing their voices. And this is Broadway for Biden. And this is an event with Women for Biden as well. And so that's why we have all Broadway Women for Biden. And we also want to make this an interactive evening. So we are going to be asking you to engage in a text registration initiative. And to help get this going, I'd like to introduce my friend Emily De Silva, who is the COO of an incredible app, made the app, in fact, for Joe Biden. And something that we can all do really easily, since I know we're all on multiple screens at any given time, is text register your friends to vote. Emily, welcome.
Hello. I see some friends in here who are giving me enthusiastic hellos, but to everyone I know and those I don't, hi, I'm Emily De Silva. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And as Halle said in her generous introduction, I'm the COO of a tech platform called Outvote, which actually built the Vote Joe app that a lot of us are already using, and if we're not already all using it, are about to be, to help mobilize our communities and the people around us to vote for Joe in November. So what I thought I would do is just take a quick moment, thought it might be fun to show you the app a little bit, and also point out that if you want to get involved in progressive advocacy beyond just Joe's campaign, we have the Team Joe actions all in Outvote. So I'm going to show you that on today's run through. But, oh, it looks like, Halle, you've already told everyone to download Vote Joe?
I sure did.
Amazing.
Give them a head start.
We're going to get into that right now. So if everyone can take out the device in front of you, one of the advantages of Outvote is it's accessible on both web and mobile, but Vote Joe is just mobile right now. It's available for iOS and Android. So we'll go through Vote Joe, but if you want to poke around in Outvote after and get involved in campaigns like Planned Parenthood, Michelle Obama's When We All Vote, which is doing a huge event with Meghan Markle right now, which is why I was a little late. But I'm going to go ahead and share. Oh, you know what, Halle, would you mind giving me permission to share my screen so we can all do this together?
Yeah, let's see. How do I do that?
It's done.
Oh, thank you very much. All right.
I'll receive.
Great. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Don't mind all the red dots on my phone. I'm not usually a fan of the red dots, but you'll notice in my lower left-hand corner, you have the Vote Joe app. If you haven't already gone ahead to sign up for the app, it takes a couple seconds. You just indicate your name, where you're based, a point of contact like an email address or a phone number, and then you're all set to log in. So when you get to the home screen, pretty self-explanatory, like any app or social feed, you can just scroll through the app and see actions directly from the campaign that you can then engage with, share out to your own existing network bases, and complete to make an impact for the campaign. So what I'm going to do is click into this first Message Friends ask, and this is super cool. So my contacts right now are formatted in a funny way because of a demo I just gave. But when you click into Message Friends, the first thing you're going to be prompted to do is sync your contacts. And just to reassure everyone, your contacts will only ever live on your personal device. It would be all sorts of illegal for them to ever exist anywhere else. The campaign will never have access to your personal contacts. And there will be a security disclaimer that shows up that explains this when you go to sync your contacts. And what's actually happening when you're syncing your contacts is our system is cross-referencing them with the national voter file. So you can see who of your friends is registered to vote, if they've missed elections, if they live in a swing area, if they're Republicans, and a whole host of publicly available voter information. And then once they are synced, we can filter for, let's say, friends who are Democrats. I'm gonna throw a friend of mine who's on this call under the bus a little bit because I saw you in here, Alex. So I am going to look for my friend Alex, who turns out is a registered Democrat. Oops, just lost you. There you are, registered in New York. Would you look at that? And I'm gonna go ahead and get started. You'll also notice at the top, if I wanted to filter contacts for maybe who registered as a Republican or didn't match to the voter file, I can filter my contacts that way. And when I go to click Get Started, the campaign has pre-populated some copy in here that's going to send from my own number to my contact. So Alex, you're about to get a message from me. Listen to that ding. So Alex just got a message, and now what I can do is I can fill out a report to send back to the campaign indicating that I've messaged Alex. Alex is definitely going to opt into Biden texts. Alex also is a Biden supporter. If I wanted to indicate if there were friends Alex is going to remind to vote, I could send that back to the campaign. Alex, you are definitely going to volunteer. I don't know if you sent in your absentee, but I could follow up to get all this information and just send it right back to the campaign. And this is going to help the campaign mobilize their support base and also just get a sense of who is where. So among the reasons I always love showing this, and particularly the texting your friends workflow, is a lot of us have done phone banking. Some of us have done text banking, and you actually can do that through a lot of the different technology that the campaign is using, including a lot of it on Help, or sorry, not on Help, but on Vote Joe. But friend-to-friend messaging is kind of the original organizing. It's the bread and butter of getting people involved in things you care about. And as I always say, in a world where there are increasing divides in trust in our sources of news, in the media, in the information we're receiving, trusted messengers like friends are the greatest way to actually influence change. So we're more inclined to respond to our friends. We're more likely to do things that our friends are doing. And the best way to mobilize is by bringing in people you already know. And it's super, super easy to do through the app. So you can keep scrolling through, you can pop out to social. There are a lot of different fun asks in here, but that is the quick run through of the Vote Joe app. And I'll also just encourage you again, if you want, that is my real name. I signed up with my middle name, but if you want, go ahead and also feel free to download Outvote. It looks the same, and there are a lot more campaigns to get involved in all the way down the ballot and national advocacy work too. But that is the quick run through. So happy organizing.
Woo! Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Amazing. Incredible work, our activist friend, Emily. Download Outvote, download Joe app, and we will be texting throughout the night. Please, if you get someone registered, let us know, throw it in the chat. We want to know. All right, we're gonna get this party started now. In true theater fashion, we're running a sensible 2 minutes behind. We've got a great video to kick things off to welcome you to the Broadway for Biden DNC watch party.
Hi, I'm Krystal Joy Brown.
I am Olivia Ogama.
My name's Amelia Colmack.
I'm Julia Nitel.
My name is Timothy Hughes.
My name is Raymond J. Lee.
My name is Marla Lewis-Saint.
Dimitri Moise here.
Hi, I'm Deanne Stewart from Jagged Little Pill, and I am very proud to be standing with Broadway for Biden.
This election is about humanity, about humans and human rights.
There are a lot of reasons why I'm voting for Joe Biden in November.
He believes Black Lives Matter.
I believe he will fight for the LGBTQ+ community.
I believe that all essential workers deserve affordable childcare.
That health insurance is a right and not a privilege.
And I know that with him as president, I'm going to have all the options I could possibly choose from to make the right choice for my body and for my reproductive present and future.
And honestly, none of this will even matter if we don't have a planet to live on. So I need to know that my president is working towards a 100% clean energy economy and believes in climate change.
Ever since number 45 came into office, he has completely divided our country. Enough is enough.
We have to get him out. We have to get him out now, and we have to break the cycle.
We need to do everything we can to get that monster out of the White House.
Any vote not for Biden is a vote for Trump. And we simply cannot live in a country fueled by hate any longer.
There is only one candidate who's even willing to face those issues, and that's why I am so wholeheartedly in support of Joe Biden.
I need to make the country safer for my daughter and her generation. That's why I'm voting for Joe Biden.
We desperately, desperately need volunteers in any state.
So, educate yourself. Think outside yourself.
Please, please, please register to vote and vote blue in November because your rights depend on it. Let's get this hatred and this bigotry out of the White House and take it back.
And with that, welcome everyone to the Broadway for Biden DNC convention watch party for the last night of the convention. I am Halle Morse. I'm one of the founders of Broadway for Biden, and I'm here with my co-host.
Hey everybody, I'm Stephanie Israelson. Hi, I am your co-host for tonight. I run our phone banks every Monday night. Well, I'll be talking a little bit more about that later in the program. I am wearing my Nasty Woman shirt tonight. This came in the day after the election in 2016, where I planned to take a really cool photo wearing it and didn't. So that has to change in 2020 because I need those Instagram likes. All right, moving it back to Halle to introduce one of our first guests.
Woo! Yes, we have too many fierce, fabulous women to waste any time. So we're just going to jump right on in. Audiences and her half-brother fell in love with Kerry Butler in Bat Boy the Musical. She went on to star in countless shows like Beetlejuice, Hairspray, Little Shop of Horrors, Mean Girls. Please welcome Kerry Butler.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Welcome, Kerry Butler. We're so excited that you're here.
Me too.
So I want to talk to you about what's on your mind this election season and why for you is voting so important.
So my family is very Republican. I grew up, in a it's part of their identity, being Republican. And I have 2 adopted daughters who are Black. And so when everything started happening 4 years ago, I said to my family, I was like, your vote, it's not about like your, whatever you vote for, it's not going to affect you that much. It's going to, maybe lower your taxes, something like that. But it actually affects our lives, like your grandchildren's lives, my daughter's lives. And some people still voted for Trump, and it was really upsetting, and I didn't talk to them for a long time. But then and now I said, so now 4 years later, they see what I said was true, that hate crimes are up, and when you have an openly racist president, it basically lets people be more racist. And so many people I know said, oh, I don't see color. I don't think racism is a problem anymore. And so now, they see, and I'm hoping that that there will be a change. I'm positive. I'm optimistic that there will be a change. And what I say to people is, you may not be a racist, but if you vote for this president, you're saying you're okay with racism.
Amen to that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. And thank you for sharing that perspective, Kerry.
Sure.
So glad you're here.
Thank you.
Amen to that. And speaking of people in your life that are like, no, I'm not racist, but I just want to vote for Trump for my own beliefs, why don't you use that Vote Joe app tonight to text them and say, hey, you still voting for Trump? Because like, he is a racist, and voting for him actually allows those racist policies to be enacted. You can say it in kinder words, seeing as they are your friends and family, but also call them out on their shit. That's what tonight is about. So up next, we have a woman who, actually, before we even introduce her, we do have Tracie Thoms coming up. But I think what she needs to hear right now is for everybody to unmute themselves and give us a glorious, messy, happy birthday to Tracie Thoms. I want this delayed. I want it loud. Everybody unmute yourselves.
Unmute.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday. Tracie.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, happy birthday to
There you go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yes.
Oh,
That's
you gotta love a birthday Zoom. Okay, Tracie,
that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
if that's not an intro, I don't know what is. Take it away.
Best thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh my God. And it's so apropos because the song I'm singing for you guys today is by Stevie Wonder. Let's see what happens. I'm doing it karaoke style here. Can you hear that? All right, here we go. Good morning or evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Hey, going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. Hey. Oh, 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 yeah. All right, guys, here we go. The force of evil plans to make you its possession, and it will if we let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If love and peace you treasure, then hear me when I say, whoa, that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. Whoa, that hate going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. People, you know that love's in need of love today. Don't delay, send yours in right away. You know that hate's going round, breaking many hearts. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. Hey, yeah. That's it. That's it. We gotta stop it before it's gone too far. And you know, I feel like it actually has already gone too far, but the only way to get out of it is to vote for Joe and Kamala. And that's what we gotta do. And we gotta get everybody we know to vote and get everybody registered and vote however we need to vote. We vote by mail early, we drop our ballots off, we vote in person early, or we stand in line with our masks and our gloves and all of our stuff to feel safe, and we vote in person on election day. And that's it.
Woo! Thank you, Tracie. That's what I'm talking about. I just heard that song in a whole new way.
Right?
Since we are talking about this and we've got, USPS top of mind, I'm curious, and I'd love to hear from people throughout the night. How do you plan to vote, Tracie?
I was going to vote by mail, but now I'm a little terrified to vote by mail, honestly, because I need to make sure my vote is counted. So I think I'm going to just wear a hazmat suit and stand in line.
Real.
Because I'm in California. So, there's all this, the president, I don't like calling him that, but 45 does not like us. And maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll vote early, but I feel like I might need to vote in person. If you know what I mean.
Indeed. Yeah. Do vote early. Any way you can, vote early. Thank you so much, Tracie, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
With us.
Thank you so much.
So we're gonna roll right along here. This is a friend of mine I've known since my days at CCM studying musical theater, Alysha Deslorieux. She has performed in Sister Act, in Beautiful, in Once on This Island, and she has played every Schuyler sister. Here to do a one-woman performance of the Schuyler sisters. Just kidding now. Actually singing Fate by her. I just wanted to give her a little panic attack. Welcome, Alysha.
It worked. I was like, wait a minute, did we talk about this? Hi, guys. Good to see all of you. Happy birthday, Tracie. Can y'all hear me? You can? Okay.
I sure can. Sorry, I was on mute, but.
Okay, cool. I was like, okay.
I can hear you loud and clear, girl.
Great. I'm lost. Is it really even my fault? I don't think that it's supposed to be hard. If it's really meant to be, yeah. So give me a sign. Is he always gonna be mine? Have I given it enough of my time? You cannot blame if it don't mean nothing. Sweet, sweet fate. I had about all I can take. Am I living in the bed that I made? Is it yours? I wonder. Sweet, sweet fate. If it's really out of my hands, can you forgive all my sins? Have mercy on me. Why me? You walked around using my feet. You would go a little easy on me. You know where I'm coming from, yeah. How come when I'm looking at everyone, they get away with having their fun? I'm paying these dues when they don't mean nothing. Sweet, sweet fate. I had about all I can take. Am I living in the bed that I made? Is it yours? I wonder. Sweet, sweet fate. If it's really out of my hands, can you forgive all my sins? Have mercy on me.
Woo! That was incredible.
I just learned that song on the uke, so I was like, well, let me try it.
How dare you just learn that and do it that perfectly?
It's my quarantine activity. And I can take it everywhere. I can throw it on my shoulder. It's great. Take it to the park.
Love portable music.
Yeah.
Up next, we have one of our friends from Women for Biden here. And we got Monica from Women for Biden.
Monica Hutchinson is with Women for Biden. And I think, oh yeah,
Monica,
she spoke on Monday. Would you like to share anything about what you're working on? And then we have a Women for Biden video to share.
Sure. So yes. So hi guys, I am with Women for Biden, part of the Grassroots Coalition arm. I'm also part of Women of Color for Biden. We are also, like I said, we are the Grassroots arm. We have got a roundtable coming up September 1st that will be focused on mental health, Women of Color for Biden. And we also do social justice book clubs every other Wednesday. So we have one this Wednesday coming up. The topic will be voter suppression. We also have Indigenous peoples coming up in a next social justice book club event. So follow us, social media, Women of Color for Biden Harris, Women for Biden Harris 2020. So like I said, follow us, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Somebody will eventually come along.
Yay.
Engaging voters is always important. During COVID, even more so. One way to do that safely yet effective is through phone banking. Please go to joebiden.com and sign up for one of the many phone banking events across the country. Now, more than ever, we must check on each other, engage voters, and all work together to help restore the soul of our nation.
Good evening. I'm Henrico County Commonwealth's Attorney Shannon Taylor, and I want to thank all of you for the opportunity to say a few words today. And Monica, I particularly want to thank you for thinking of me. You know, as we are dealing with this uncertain pandemic, it is absolutely critical that we do not give up on our efforts to elect Democrats. This is, and we say it every year, the most important election of our lifetime. Women like you, who are community leaders, are stepping up all across this country to ensure that while other methods or voter contact are unavailable, our efforts to elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are not stopping. One of the most important things we can all do is get on the phones, calling and texting friends and neighbors to inform them of the ways they can vote, how they can vote, and the importance of their vote. That's how we will end the Trump administration to a better tomorrow for all of us. As always, it'll be women leading the way.
Hi, I'm Abigail Spanberger. I represent Virginia's 7th District in Congress, and I'm delighted to stop by the Women Uplifting Women event. And I'd like to start by uplifting the incredible advocates in our district, in Virginia's 7th District, including my dear friend Monica Hutchinson, who invited me to join today. The work that women like Monica do on the ground, demonstrating that change is possible in our communities if they get out and organize people and advocate, is incredible. And I wouldn't be in Congress without women like her. So thank you to all the advocates across the country for all that you do. We're going to keep seeing success of bringing people together, and we are going to win in November, up and down the ballot.
Yes, because nobody wins an election without women. It is a fact. They need the women vote. Women have to mobilize to get anyone elected. Usually men, but it'll be more women because we got Kamala.
Well, I'm pretty lucky because I have got women representing me in my district. So
yes. Next up, we have Lilli Cooper. According to her website, she is fluent in Czech. She knows a whole 3 words. Here to tell us about why she needs to see Joe, hopefully in English, is Lilli Cooper.
Hi guys. You said fluent and I was like, no, wrong. Oh no, she got that wrong. Hi everybody. I'm really happy to be here. Wow. So I'm not singing quite yet, but I guess I'm just sort of talking first. Can you guys hear me? All good?
Hey Lilli, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of this election for me personally, which I think can sort of spread across a lot of people's experiences. My first legal vote was for Obama. I was 18 years old. It was my freshman year in college. It was the coolest thing ever. And I thought that that would be the most important vote in my life. And then 8 years later, I thought electing a woman would be the most important vote in my life. And now 4 years later, I just keep getting proven wrong in the sense that we cannot stay complacent about voting and thinking that it won't matter in the future, that we're set. I have 2 older brothers. I have a Black father. I want to know that they walk down the street and are safe and are looked at as humans who matter. And as a Black woman, I didn't think I'd ever see someone who looked like me in such a high place in the White House. And it fills me with so much pride to see it. It's bringing me to tears. Just thinking of the youth of America being able to see Kamala as our hopefully incumbent vice president. And I'm just really, really proud of us because I have so much faith. I have faith in the next generation of this country. I think that they've seen a lot of crappy shit going on this past year, excuse my language, past 4 years. And I hope and I pray that that will inspire to change. I teach a lot of Zooms and I talk to young kids and students. And the last thing that I always say to them is, you are our future. You will change this country and you have the power to do so. Register to vote, go out and do it. And I just hope that those words will mean something to the youth of our country. And so that's sort of, how this election really is so important to me personally. And I'm just really honored and proud to be with such an incredible group of people, women, humans. So thanks for having me here today.
Thank you, Lilli. Incredible woman, human. We're so happy that you are here with us. So we are gonna go on to hear from a dear friend of mine who is known for her performances in the band's Visit, Escape to Margaritaville, Come From Away, and Mamma Mia, which we did together on Broadway, and has a firm agreement that she will only do shows that take place in remote locations. Joining us from God knows where, here is Sharone Sayegh.
Hi, guys. That's not technically true. I'll do a show that doesn't take place in a remote location. I'm so happy to be here amongst all of you all, amazing, amazing women. Those performances already, I'm like, oh, inspired. You guys are fierce, 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 beautiful humans. God, this election, I think aside from what I view as the obvious reasons as to why I'm voting for Joe, I still come back to all these things. I even have some people in my family that are voting for Trump. They voted for Trump last time and they are resolved to vote for him again, no matter how much we argue and cry over it. But I still always wind up saying to them, all of these issues that are so important at the end of the day don't even really matter if there's no planet for us all to live on, right? They don't actually matter if we cannot survive as a human race physically on this planet. And the current number 45, the current president is just, I think, as we all know, just so openly, has said that he believes climate change is a hoax, and not only is not working to reverse climate change, but is truly like getting us in the opposite direction. And I just can't with that. So I'm really trying to push that point home with the people in my life, because if we can't agree on policy and we can't agree on politics, perhaps we can just agree that we need a planet to live on. That's where what I've resolved myself to. But I will say these last couple of nights watching the DNC has been really inspiring. I've been truly moved to tears the last couple of nights. It's been so nice to hear people in our government speak who are so poised and so well spoken and so passionate and truly care about the people of this country. And it's refreshing, to be honest. We've had 4 years of none of that, you know? So to just see all these people that are trying to make change happen, that truly care, has been inspiring, and it's filled me with hope. And I also feel the one positive out of this terrible 4 years is that I think it has ignited a fire under a lot of people, myself included. I've become more politically minded because of all this. And so I hope that we just, enough of us have a fire lit under us to make change happen and to elect Joe and Kamala in November and get back on the right path.
Amen. Amen to that. So for those of you who are joining us late or haven't yet downloaded the Vote Joe app, we see you. We're going to bring Emily DeSilva back to explain the Vote Joe app, to get you guys texting, because listen, we are all pretty adept at being on multiple screens at once now. So we won't be insulted if we see you texting throughout this, because we know you're texting your uncle saying, stop it, enough is enough. You're voting for Biden, okay? All right, let's bring back Emily DeSilva.
Hello again. I am flattered to be back. I also realized that I didn't share this in my introduction before, but I know Halle and Stephanie and Alex and a bunch of people on this call because I used to work in the theater. So I like to identify still as someone who is part of the Broadway for Biden community, even though I work full-time in politics. But let's get our Vote Joe apps open again. And if everybody wants to pull up the invite a friend to watch the DNC action or one of the other actions in the feed. I'm particularly fond of the announcement about our next vice president, Ms. Kamala Harris. But if you want to go ahead and click that text button, message friends button, sync your contacts, look for people you want to text, and start texting. I guess while I'm here, if anyone has any questions about the app or about things you can do on it, feel free to ask away.
Emily, can you text like random people in addition to your friends? How does that work?
Good question. There are two different kinds of texting that campaigns will usually push forward. There's friend-to-friend texting, which is what we do through the Vote Joe app. And then there's what's called peer-to-peer texting. Slightly confusing term given the fact that you would think your friends are your peers, but peer-to-peer texting is when you receive those cold texts from a number that says, hey, it's Emily with the Biden campaign. Can we count on your support? By the way, whenever I get those messages, I always ask what platform they're using, because a lot of the times they're using the platform I work on, but the Vote Joe app is using a completely separate platform for their peer-to-peer strategy. For those, your number will be masked by a random integration with a service called Twilio, and you'll be able to just hit send, send, send over and over again, either on your phone or on your computer, laptop, desktop, and the messages will send from a random local area code to the person you're texting. If you want to do any of that, what I would recommend is actually going to joebiden.com and clicking into their Get Involved section and finding an event where you can register to either phone or text bank. Some people feel more comfortable with text banking to strangers over phone banking because they have automated responses and you don't have to talk to new people. I am one of those people who loves knocking on doors and talking to strangers. So I'll text bank, I'll phone bank, I'll knock on doors when we're not in a pandemic. But for the Vote Joe app specifically, it's just texting your friends or your contacts.
Emily, I'm a bit of a ding dong and maybe an 8-year-old.
Don't talk about my friend like that.
Wait, so I pulled up my husband just to do a safe one. So okay. How do I go from his contact to texting him?
Great question. A lot of you will notice there is a designated contacts tab where you can see all of your contacts as they match to the voter file. This is actually where you can get a more transparent lens into someone's voter file or publicly available voter file to actually go ahead and text Ben, your husband, you're going to have to go into the home screen and click into an action to then find Ben. But you do raise a really good point, Stephanie, which is that when you go into your contacts tab, you might notice not all of your contacts will match with the voter file off the bat. That's because, for the most part, the way we all have people saved in our contacts is not always the way people are registered to vote. I know, for example, my mom is not registered as mom, although it would be super cute if she were. So what you can do is you can click in to see someone's file, and I'm going to go ahead and do this on a friend of mine. So I'm going to click see file, and I can see in here whether or not that match looks or resembles the person I'm looking for. Now, if for any reason the match doesn't look right, maybe somebody who had your phone number before you was registered with that phone number, you've switched phone numbers and the voter file pulled in by that point of contact. If you go ahead and click bad match, you can look up in the voter file in real time someone you're looking for. You just have to indicate that the age range you want is all or as close to the age range you know as possible. And then you can go ahead and find out what state someone might be registered in. The only other point I will make to that is because voter registration happens on a state-by-state basis, the states are all on different wavelengths of when and how they update their voter files. Some states will expunge records, some will have different statuses or inactive statuses for people who haven't voted in a while, which, if you ask me, should be super illegal. We've got to get the Voting Rights Act back on the Supreme Court floor. But if you, I'm seeing a lot of nods, but if you wanted, or if, let's say, you know, someone like me, I used to live in New York, now I live in California. New York hasn't updated my voter or the voter file since I re-registered, so it still shows up that I'm a New York voter. Don't be alarmed if you see that somebody, let's say, hasn't voted in a recent election in a state where they were formally registered to vote, but then they moved. As I said, every state is different about updating their voter file. So I always emphasize this is not for voter shaming. It's just to give you a sense of if your contacts are registered, where they're registered, and if they have political affiliations.
Hey, Emily, can I ask a question?
Hi, Sharone, yeah.
Hey, so if you, you know, on one of your contacts, it says like infrequent voter or something like that, or perhaps not registered, how would you recommend we like go about politely calling them out, being like, hey, I saw on the publicly available records that you didn't vote or you're not registered?
That's
I don't want to make anyone feel bad, you know?
Of course. And also voter shaming, not fun. So what I would recommend is first, if you have any hunch that the person you're reaching out to might be registered to vote, but maybe file's out of date or they need to update it, you can look in the contact section, try to look them up manually. If they don't match with the voter file, I would reach out and just kindly ask, hey, I'm doing a check with my friends. Can you confirm that your registration is up to date? And if they say, how do I do that? Usually, and I'll recommend to the Biden campaign that they upload an action like this so that people can start sending it out. But usually what a campaign will do is they'll put in information about how you can check the active or status of your voter registration. And if it's helpful on your end, if you feel empowered enough to guide somebody through the process of checking their registration, I would start by just asking if they've checked it. And then if they say, yeah, I've checked it, you can say, awesome, I'm just doing a quick check in the publicly available voter file to send back information to the campaign. It's not showing up matched. Is it possible you're registered in a different state or like under a different name? And really get it out of them and then send them through the funnel to make sure they're registered to vote.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I have a question.
Yeah. Hi, Logan.
Where's the data coming from? Like, is there a specific spot that the data is coming from?
Yeah, there are a couple different national voter files, and I don't have to get too technical on this, but the largest of them is a voter file run by a group called Target Smart, and they license the voter file to a bunch of different campaigns, advocacy organizations. There also is one that is run by the DNC specifically called NGP Van, and what our platform is actually doing is syncing back to NGP Van, or sorry, what the Biden system is doing is syncing back to NGP Van. So there are just two different layers of information coming in there. But fun fact, in NGP Van, and by the way, no one knows what NGP stands for, but Van stands for Voter Activation Network, Voter Activity Network, something like that. In the voter file, there is an option to filter people by astrological sign.
All right, thank you.
Oh, learned something new.
I'm obsessed with that. So for all the seasons coming up, text all your
Libras and your Virgos.
Your Libras, yes, Libra season's upon us. Text all your Libras. Well, happy Libra season. Are you registered?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. I'm very bad with astrological signs. Okay, let's get back to performing because this is Broadway for Biden. Up next, we have Krystal Joy Brown, who you know from Hair, Leap of Faith, Big Fish, Motown, and is Eliza in Hamilton. Also, she has a new puppy. So you tell me which one is more important. So here to sing for us, or maybe show us her puppy, is Krystal Joy Brown.
I mean, everyone just wants to see AJ. He's the real star of the show. Yeah, I got a quarantine puppy before quarantine. Okay, I started the trend. I got him March 2nd, and we lost our jobs March 12th. So thank you very much. This is AJ. He's kind of getting lost in my background, but yes, he is a wonderful distraction to all the craziness. And I'm so happy to be here and working with Women for Biden and Broadway for Biden, any way that we can use our voices to uplift this crazy time and just remind people of how important it is to vote. Like, I'm actually quite shocked at how many people I know who I consider sane, lovely people are telling me that they are not going to vote this year. And that because they feel it's more radical or feel it's more of their right, or it's more in line with, they think the system is so broken. And, the system is broken. We do have to do a lot of work. This is one step. We have to get someone in there that will listen to us, that cares about humans. Like, I think at the base level, like, Biden cares about humans, and we need that so that we can then continue to create the world that we want. I think that this whole pandemic, like, yes, I'm furloughed until the end of time, but like, what happened during this time, in my opinion, is that we've gotten to sit down and see what exactly we want our lives to be. We've gotten to look in the micro level, like, how do I want to live in this world? How do I want to be? Like, what are my relationships like? All of that stuff. And then we're looking at the macro level. Like, I mean, I'm sure everyone is kind of doing their plan of like, what am I going to do after I'm allowed to go outside, or after I'm allowed, like, things get back to normal. And then it's like, what kind of world do I want to live in when we get this guy out of office? And it is about stepping into your power and actually taking control back. And I think to not vote is to actually just surrender all of your control. And we have two amazing people that want to help end this tyranny. I mean, it's tyranny, it's oppression, and end this tyranny, and then also come through and help usher forward a lot of these initiatives that we have been marching on the street. I know a lot of you people have been out here on the streets with me, fighting and screaming Black Lives Matter, which is like the simplest statement, but it's crazy that I have to say it. And I know a lot of you are all very concerned about your legacy. You are concerned about where you're going to stand when history has its eyes on you. Oh my God, am I really doing this? Am I really bringing up all these? I swear I did not prepare that. I swear. But like, history does have its eyes on you. And we will look at this moment in history and say, where were you? Where were you standing? If you're extremely progressive left, and you want to see trans people rights, you want to see Black rights, you want to see all these other beautiful things that we can create, it's not going to happen with this man in office. It is not going to happen. It's just not. And you're not radical or cool if you just decide to sit this one out and then you get to go, well, I told you this whole thing is rigged. I told you it was a dumb system. I told you it didn't matter anyway. We have to make it matter. And that's why we need to have record numbers. We have to have record voting. We have to have record turnout. We have to have undeniable proof that we are done with this administration. That's my soapbox. Yeah.
So true. So well said, Krystal. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I know that you are doing so much work right now out on the front lines, doing it, putting, walking the walk and talking the talk. And we thank you so much.
Yeah.
There is no more important soapbox. So yes, and never leave that soapbox.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And
Yeah.
I guess we should maybe
yes,
a little ditty.
I'm loving Logan's mask. I saw that. Yeah, a little what? My song?
A little ditty, perhaps?
Yeah, a little ditty. Okay, so I love this song because it is the last song in the show, but it's also a rallying cry. It's also when we have our grief and our hearts are broken, what can we do with that grief? And so Eliza Hamilton at the end of Hamilton puts herself back in the narrative. And this song to me is a rallying cry for all of us. So heaven help me on this technology and the sound quality, but here it is. How's that sound?
I put myself back in the narrative. I stop wasting time on tears. I live another 50 years. It's not enough. I interview every soldier who fought by your side. I try to make sense of your thousands of pages of writings. You really do write like you're running out of time. I rely on Angelica. While she's alive, we tell your story. She's buried in Trinity Church near you. When I needed her most, she was right on time. And I'm still not through. I ask myself, what can I do if you had more time? And the Lord in his kindness, he gives me what you always wanted. He gives me more time. I raise funds for DC for the Washington Monument. I speak out against slavery. You could have done so much more if you only had time. And when my time is up, have I done enough? Will they tell our story? Oh, can I show you what I'm proudest of? I established the first private orphanage in New York City. I helped to raise hundreds of children. I get to see them growing up. In their eyes, I see you, Alexander. I see you every time. And when my time is up, have I done enough? Will they tell my story? Oh, I can't wait to see you again. It's only a matter of time.
And yes, I did mess up the words twice. But yes, you guys get it. Thank you guys. Yeah, I mean, it's about the strong women. It's about people stepping into their power once they've had grief. And I didn't think there was a song more apropos than this moment. It's about taking our grief and stepping into our power and doing something on every scale, whether it be voting early, whether it be getting people to vote, or just talking to people and reaching out and being accessible. It matters. Everything that you're doing matters. Black lives matter. And our immigrants and our society and our country matters. I'm a patriot. That's why I'm voting for Biden. That's why I'm voting. I love this country and I love what it could possibly be. So stand with me and take this moment as your rallying cry to go out and do more. Whatever it is, volunteer, phone bank, whatever it is, just take this moment to fill up your tank and go out there and help and use your voice and your energy and your youth and your talent and your brilliance to make this world a better place and whatever you love. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Krystal, we love you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I keep crying. You know, it's been really hard. And I think we're all just so frustrated. And I just think we deserve better. I do. We deserve better.
We do. We do. And together we will build back better. And we will see a better future. I mean that. We love you, Krystal. You are amazing. Okay, so it's early in the night to be crying, but this is where we are. I mean, it's that important. So I'm delighted to introduce our next guest. She starred in Book of Mormon and in Les Miserables, and she is here to talk about her new project. It's the musical The Suffragists. There's no joke here because the right to vote is no joke. Take it away, Nikki.
Hey. The first thing I want to say is I took my 10-year-old nephew to see Hamilton for his birthday, and he had his first crush, and that person is Krystal Joy Brown. He's not wrong. The way his eyes lit up when he saw her face backstage, he gave her some gummy bears. No, I think they were Sour Patch Kids. It was
Sour Patch Kids. I'm obsessed with him. He's amazing. I love him so much.
He's actually super amazing. And he was so fascinated with the storytelling of Hamilton. It was really amazing for me to share that night with him. And he had some issues with the lack of the war. And he was really disappointed that Lynn didn't spend enough time talking about the battle of some specific Civil War battle. He's a nerdy 10-year-old. And but I also remember that night we were, in addition to Hamilton, we were running down the street singing 1776. And I felt such pride that this person I love was in love with musical theater and also in love with our nation's history. And but the downside is now, you know, that was January and now we're in June, and I've had to have had a number of other conversations with my beloved 10-year-old. I've had to explain to him why there are people marching in the streets for Black Lives Matter. I've had to talk to him about why it's important that we have leadership who is kind, who is thoughtful, who are doing right things for our constituents, for our country. And then we've been talking a little bit about suffrage, about the right to vote. And just this past week, we celebrated the 100-year centennial of the passing of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. And it was a long battle. These women fought for generations. Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony were not alive to see the passing of the amendment. They started this movement. They did not stop fighting. And the 19th Amendment was passed because a number of young women took up the mantle of their predecessors. And I've been working on a musical called Suffragist with this incredible artist named Sheena Taub. And she is trying to remind us of the stories, the unspoken stories, the unsung heroes of our democracy. I'm playing Ida B. Wells. Ida was fighting on two fronts. She was fighting for women's suffrage. Simultaneously, she was unflinchingly shining a light on lynching in the South, on the Jim Crow laws, on the sort of the lack of the ballot that Black men were facing all over this country. And then we get the right to vote, women, and we all know that we fought another 45-ish years until we got the Civil Rights Voting Act. And many other people had to lose their lives. Many people lost time and, you know, were jailed, had dogs set on them, hoses, who fought for us, for our right to vote. And it is important that we take that seriously. This is not a time to sit out. we have been blessed that these monsters, these huge like advocates went out and fought on our behalf. So let's do our part. I've been doing a little bit of my part. I'll show you. I've been getting involved in writing letters. This is the Hamilton Company. I joined them for vote writers, because just registering to vote is not enough. In some states, you need to make sure you have the right ID. And in some of those states, getting the right ID costs money. It's a poll tax. We want to make sure people have information. We want to make sure when people show up to the polls on election day that they're able to cast a ballot. So there's lots of things we can do. There's lots of fights we can fight from our homes while being safe. And I'm really proud of you all and inspired by you all. And I'm really excited and happy to be here today. And earlier this week, I was watching the roll call, and in New York State, the woman who spoke was an immigrant from St. Vincent, which is where my father is from. I am a first generation American, and I was moved to tears that this small little place where my dad was from, that in my state where I will cast a ballot for Joe Biden, they lit up and gave a spotlight to someone like me. And I got to vote for her too. So I'm excited to be here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. Oh, that was amazing. This person's my husband.
Hi, husband.
This is Ben Rosenbach. Just so not some freak is behind me. It's not a horror film. It's just him. So tonight we're going to start watching. So again, for everyone who just joined us, we are watching on CNN, or you can stream it on the DNC's website. Those links will be put in the chat. So if you want your TV or you go cable-less, we got options for you. We're gonna make this interactive though. So let's keep this chat active. We should be always making comments on the speeches. There's also, what's a party without a drinking game? So we have a few rules for the night. Take whatever vice you want. Mine is now straight vodka. Thank you, 45, for this new habit of mine. So every time you hear the name, someone mention 45's name, I mean, I don't really need to tell you to drink, but drink. Drink, or for all my Jews out there that we know Prom, we got to boo Haman, we're gonna boo Trump, so get your groggers going. And we're gonna drink every time we hear Trump's name, and we can yell, we can unmute ourselves, we can go boo, we can make this fun. We also wanna really, let's face it, politics needs money. Campaigns need money. We here at Broadway for Biden have a campaign sanctioned donation link. So we're putting that in the chat. So while you're texting your friends saying, hey, are you registered to vote? Do you wanna vote for Joe Biden? Also say, hey, do you want to donate to the campaign? Here at Broadway for Biden, they're doing amazing work to get Joe and Kamala in the White House. Help them out, donate through our link. So we'll put that in the chat so you can copy and paste it, text it to your friends, email it to your mom, send it all around. I emailed it to my mom and she came through. Thank you, Ellen. And we want you, last but not least, share that you're having so much fun with us. Take a selfie and say, I am watching with @Broadway 4 Biden. Put it on Twitter, put it on Facebook, whatever your social media platform of choice. I see Emily taking a selfie. So we want to get as many people involved as possible, and they should be joining us throughout the night. So take a selfie, because in quarantine, it's been really hard to have selfies being like, I'm out and doing something. And we need that. That's what America is missing. Not a good president, but selfies. Yeah. So let's get that going. So remember, rules are drink when you hear 45's name. Tell everyone you know to donate. It can be a small donation. It can be a big donation for your rich friends and family. And take a selfie. Share Broadway for Biden. Spread the love. We are 1 minute away. Get your CNN going. Get your DNC streaming. And let's all stay friends together on the chat. We have more fun coming up in the commercial breaks. I guess I'll turn on my TV now.
Woo! Let's go, let's go.
Can I ask a question for everybody? Who are you all watching with? I'm watching with my mom and my grandmother. They're over there.
My cat. I'm watching with my cat.
It's a solo party over here and it's rock and roll.
Yeah.
No, for real. I'm watching with you guys. So
Heartstrings. I'm watching with my girlfriend here. Oh, there she is. Oh, God.
I'm watching with you guys, and I've got a beer down here in the great state of Texas to go along with you guys.
Yes, Texas.
That's right.
I'm actually on vacation in Yosemite. I'm from San Diego. And so I'm watching with you guys in another bedroom while the rest of the friends and family are, I don't know what they're doing, cooking dinner. And I do have a Topo Chico margarita that my husband brought in. So that was very exciting.
Boo, Donald Trump.
Drink. Can't see it, Krystal.
Okay, somebody said Trump, right? We're supposed to drink every time we hear that. Was that correct?
Drink, yep, drink every time you hear.
Just checking, just making sure. And I said it again. So twice.
And I feel like Putin and Trump are like the same word. So you can do it for Putin too.
Was that 3 now? Okay.
Yep. Okay. Next up, we have Kristolyn Lloyd, who has been in she has many impressive theater credits to her name. Most importantly, she met Beyonce. So here to tell us why she went to see Joe and Kamala in the White House, or give us like a moment by moment of how Beyonce is and like what she smells like, is Kristolyn Lloyd.
Hi. I did meet Beyonce. She smelled like sandalwood, and she was cocoa buttered all over her body. She had just had the twins, and this is gonna be terrible, but everything was perfect, perched. She was the nicest human. Is this what you wanted to hear? Okay. She's the nicest person. She just wanted to talk about the show and us the whole time. Like, didn't really want to talk about herself or hear much about how much we loved her. She was just like so giving. Yeah. I also met Joe Biden. So, but yeah, I'm excited to be here tonight. It's August. So in a few months, we're going to have one of the most defining elections of our future, and also one of the most controversial in America. And it's an election that can easily be, ignored as a voter, because it just feels like it's too overwhelming. And it feels like the country is so divided. I mean, not only are we dealing with a possible transfer of world leadership, but also with a global pandemic. I know I've spent the last 4 years telling myself, only 3 more years, only 2 more years, only 1 more year. And now it's time. And we have 2 candidates to choose from. And the results in November will determine how our country recovers from the last 4 years of civil unrest and division. I grew up in a red state, in a red community. I was educated at red schools. I attended a red church. I myself voted red in my very first election, but I also remember attending a rally for the Democratic candidate at the time, knowing I was going to vote conservative. And I stood in a corner like a spy, like at the enemy camp. And I found myself feeling very convicted. I listened to this Democrat, who's like the enemy, talk about social services for economically disenfranchised communities, affordable health care for all Americans, a reform of the prison system, and a reassessment of zoning policies that were, ravaging Black and Brown communities. And that election was, my first election allowed me to see the humanity on the other side of this bipartisan wall. And I was challenged to see outside of what I had been surrounded by. And my voting practices changed after that election. And I realized it was necessary as a citizen in this country to play a bigger part in the preservation of justice and the progression of antiquated ideologies that seem to be choking our best intentions. And, I couldn't just be an every 4-year voter and not participate year round. I couldn't, I was protesting for the unborn, but I wasn't serving the kids in my communities and my neighboring communities. And, I couldn't talk about loving others as I love myself and ignore the pain of the LGBTQIA family and friends. And I couldn't exist as this Black woman whose proximity to whiteness afforded me to, be blind to the needs of those who were less privileged. So I think a disparity of worldviews that's been festering for like 400 years has finally surfaced. And we're faced with either moving forward or repeating the last 4 years. And I just don't think we as a country can endure another 4 years of this current administration. So I'm here tonight because I believe in us, and I believe in our ability to observe and discern the next best step for our country. And that is a Biden-Harris ticket. You know, our current president had 4 years to win the trust of the majority of the people, and yet we're more divided and more distrusting. And this election is an opportunity for our young country, like me, to grow and mature and leave behind the things that have stunted us. This is a vote for progress. This is a vote for justice. This is a vote for Black lives and trans lives. This is an opportunity to re-examine and begin to heal the relationship between police officers and the lives that they've been sworn to protect with integrity. And they can do that in the capacity that their training will eventually equip them for. Because this is also a vote for proper mental health services and healthcare for all Americans, and for women to be able to decide what to do with their own bodies. So, you know, I just feel like we were born for this moment, and we each have a purpose in it. So if you know, you're looking for ways to get involved, ask around your community, see where the need is. I've had the privilege of working alongside organizations such as the ACLU and NYCLU, and supporting organizations within the Broadway community that are currently fighting for racial justice and equity. So I'm excited to be a part of this election and join the Biden-Harris ticket for the progression of ideologies that deserve a chance to make a change. We have a chance to empower others around us to see the potential in Joe and Kamala Harris, and to fight alongside them with intention and with accountability in, you know, this pursuit for life, liberty, and justice for every American. So thank you for having me. Hey.
Thank you so much for those incredibly inspiring and powerful words. Let's get back to the program, shall we?
Keisha, woo, Keisha.
for children matter. In the words of woman Audre Lorde, your salary would not be, neither can we. We cannot wait.
Mommy.
Is that you may have to sacrifice, but if you're sacrificing for a cause,
Guys,
you feel it, and you really believe in it, then you have people following.
Boo Trump.
Yes, Krystal Joy. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Deb. Those are some amazing speakers. We're going to take a quick little break here and welcome back one of our incredible Broadway guests. Okay, so our next guest has been in so many Broadway shows that we decided to write a poem using several of the shows that Vasthy Mompoint has been in. Trump, drink, could have used a nanny like Mary Poppins, but now we have to knock him out like Rocky. If we don't, I want to turn into a ghost. If we do, we'll party like it's prom. Okay, Vasthy, take it away.
That made me really happy. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Vasthy. So real talk. I would have voted Democrat, progressive, no matter who was running, right? I'm Black. I'm a woman. I'm the daughter of 2 immigrants, and I have Native blood in mine. So that was a no-brainer. But there's a difference between just voting and voting passionately. And what made me turn to voting passionately is the new talk that is finally happening in an election, women's health. Let me back up. Last year, I almost died. I had a miscarriage and suffered from an extreme case of fibroids. Fibroids affect a lot of women in the US, a lot of women in the world. And there is little to zero research on all of it because women are last always. And Black women are even less than that. Kamala Harris was the first person to actually talk about women's health before she even became nominated. She's proposing a fibroid bill to discuss the research and to talk about how terrible it is. When you look up fibroids, they say little to no symptoms, no big deal. It is so not true. Most Black women in the US suffer from fibroids, and that leads to hair loss, iron deficiency, lack of sexual appetite, overbleeding. The list goes on and on. We lose babies all the time. We die in childbirth, and nobody really cares. And it's going to be so nice to have someone that does. There are a lot of reasons that I want to vote this year. The lists go on and on and on, but women's health is my extreme passion. And I never want any woman to go through the emotional and physical pain that I had to go through last year. America's always been a tricky thing for me. There's the part that is so dark and so frustrating and making me angry. And then there's a part of me that knows that without this country, I wouldn't have a poem named about me for doing 8 Broadway shows. I'd be in a third world country. This country is very special. And I think that a lot of people that are from here don't realize the potential that it has or the privilege that you have to be here and the honor it is to be able to vote. I grew up with parents who didn't vote because in their country, voting meant death, voting meant so many different things. I had to learn how to do that on my own, and they vote now, but it's an honor. It is a privilege. It is something that we have to spread. We have to fight for our LGBT plus community, for Black people, for Latin community, for poor white people, for everyone. It is so important that we get out there and vote and that we convince people and that we lead with empathy and not anger and defensiveness. Because as angry as we are, nowhere in history has being angry in a conversation will ever solve anything. So I like to take a deep breath, I meditate, and I try. I'm from Alabama, a red state, Birmingham, Alabama, the town where the girls were bombed. I think the anniversary is coming up. My childhood, I could go on and on about, but we're talking about today. And if we want everything to change, we have to get out there. And it's not just about voting. It's about little fights every single day. Because fighting, what I've realized over the last few months, is not fun. It's not fun. Everyone talks about Rosa Parks not sitting down, but they didn't talk about all of the stuff she had to do afterwards, the endless nights of not sleeping, the anger, the discrimination, the fact that Black people were mad at her for even fighting in the first place. It goes on, but I think we can do it. We have to be real. Whoever we vote isn't going to wave a magic wand and get rid of all the problems, but they're going to plant seeds for people in the future. And it's very important to vote, and that is why I'm voting for Biden-Harris. And that's all I have to say.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
Vasthy.
sharing your story with us. Thank you. I think that your story, and I mean, every story that we're hearing tonight and in our Zoom at the DNC, there is no other option than Biden and Kamala in November. And we are all here on this Zoom because we know that. But it is important to tell your friends and your family and just scream it on Twitter, whatever platform you have. Let people know a vote for Biden is a vote for Biden. A vote for a third party candidate is a vote for Trump. Staying home and not voting is a vote for Trump. You are actively keeping that man in office by not voting for Biden. There is no third party candidate. There is no perfect candidate. But there's Trump, who is pure evil, and there is Biden, who is hope and goodness, a good soul, and going to restore the soul of our nation. And now I will silence myself because Senator Cory Booker has a lot more eloquent things to say.
On the assembly lines during World War II. That Union
Boo.
Okay, that one was funny. That Julie with Dreyfus joke was funny. That was funny.
That was amazing.
The division in this country created by our current president. Yeah, cheers on that one. Takes one to know one. Indeed. Cheers. Let me just explain something.
Boo, Donald Trump.
Okay, we're gonna bring in a friend of ours. Every Monday night, we phone bank and we are making calls into swing states to get the vote out for Joe. But change happens on the local level. So with us tonight is Ryan Vasquez from Swing From Home to tell us all about it.
Hi, y'all. My name is Ryan Vasquez, and I was a Broadway company member of Hamilton before the shutdown. And I started this organization called Swing From Home. The idea is that we're connecting remote volunteers and grassroots fundraising to campaigns on the state legislative level, right? So just like our national government has a House and a Senate and a president that's sort of signing laws that they're writing, right? Every state has this as well. And so we need to be focusing in these state house and state senate races, some of which are decided by like less than 10 votes, literally. I just got off the phone on a fundraiser where I was singing and doing some speaking for a candidate in Iowa who lost by 9 in 2018. What ends up happening if Republicans control these state houses and state senates, right, is that like Christy Clark, a candidate who's running in North Carolina, who spoke at a phone bank, a Broadway for Biden phone bank, she's talking about North Carolina as the testing ground for policy for the GOP in Washington. They're literally testing it out to see if it's palatable and then sending it to Washington. So if we think, not to mention the fact that state leadership has such a spotlight on it right now, right? Folks in New York aren't getting back to work until folks in Georgia and Florida get their act together. So the intersection of states is so important for those reasons. But there's another reason that's like makes this truly like the most important group of elections, I think, this cycle, and it is redistricting, right? Once every 10 years with the taking of the census, state legislators and the parties that hold power over those state legislative chambers, again, these are these super tight races that you can move the needle in so easily. Those parties get to redraw the legislative maps to their liking. And basically what ends up happening is politicians are drawing these maps around neighborhoods, around buildings even, to then place their voters in the districts where they will vote and for whom they vote. So it's not, voters electing their leaders, it's leaders picking and choosing where these voters vote, right? So we have 150 of these races that we flagged. We've raised about $100,000 in the first month. We've made tens of thousands of calls. This is really popping off. And it's for these races that are decided by like a razor's edge margin that we can really affect. I see Kristolyn here. She's participated in some of these. Like any performers around, if you want to participate, feel free to DM me, Ryan Vasquez, or Swing From Home, or you can email me. I'll drop my email in the chat, ryan@swingfromhome.com. And for those of you who aren't please come and participate. Please come and volunteer. It's fun. We always bring Broadway folks to sing and to, like even before phone banks, like just like Broadway for Biden's doing, so that we get a kind of like call to action. And then we're calling in these districts again, like the tiniest little bit of time. A night where we make 1,000 calls can push a race that was decided by 100 votes 2 years ago over the finish line, right? So thank you for having me. I'm so appreciative of y'all. Yeah, I'll drop some stuff in the chat, but be well. We'll keep watching, and much love to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. You are amazing. And speaking of phone banks, Stephanie hosts our phone banks every Monday, which are so important to what we do. And we have had such success. We've made thousands upon thousands of calls. Stephanie, why don't you talk about it? And also, I believe one of our guests also recently phone banked with us, Kathryn.
Yes.
Are you with us, girl? Yes.
The good fortune of having Kathryn Gallagher at our phone bank and speak at our phone bank and like drop truth bombs one after another. Because this is not your average phone bank here at Broadway for Biden. Oh no. We are calling into swing states. Yes. We are using the Joe Biden script. Yes. So also let everyone here that doesn't know what phone banking is, let me just break it down for you. You gather together on Zoom, just like we're doing tonight. I send you to the Joe Biden website where they give you the phone numbers of the people we're going to call. They give you the script. So you need no preparation. You come in, you're with all your friends on Zoom, you call people, and if somebody goes, I love Trump, drink, you get to write in the chat, ew, gross, somebody said I love Trump. And then people like Kathryn Gallagher are there to be like, don't worry about it, go make another call. And then there's singing because it is a Broadway for Biden. There's speeches with your favorite Broadway stars. So it's more of a party than a phone bank. So we have every single Monday, marketing your calendar, every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us. It's always in our bio on our Instagram and on our Facebook and on our Twitter. We have some pretty amazing guests lined up for this week. We've got Chris Jackson. We got Andrew Keenan Bolger. We got Carol Lindsay. It's going to be incredible. So we got Rima Webb. Hello. So join us on Monday. Join us every Monday. Give me all your Mondays, okay? Your Mondays belong to me now. And now Tammy Duckworth is, oh my God, not Tammy. Baldwin. Tammy Baldwin is speaking. And let's listen up.
Boo Putin.
Yeah, I've never been much for.
Okay, we're gonna like unmute during this section because we can, you know, talk over Bloomberg. I think that's all agreed here. So we're gonna bring up our next speaker. We have Kathryn Gallagher. She is just adding to the list of people who have met my idols, posted a picture of her and Gloria Steinem. So she can either talk about that or she can talk about she posted a picture also wishing her dad a happy birthday and thanking him for her eyebrows. I too thank him for her eyebrows. So it's either going to be about her eyebrow technique or Joe Biden, whichever she decides. Take it away.
Well, I will say I could wax poetic about the eyebrow legacy in my family, but today I was thinking I could talk a little bit about the future of our country, which I hope is a bright one. I keep thinking back to 2016 and all of these parallels, and I'm never going to forget watching these election results come in 2016 with my friends, and there was takeout on the counter and cozy clothes with hopeful and inspired spirits and glitter everywhere from our HRC face paint that I put on everyone's face. And but as we all know, what started as the beginning of a once-in-a-lifetime celebration quickly dissolved into a stark awareness of the real potential of a devastating future. And still, though, even with all of the immoral, racist, misogynist, cruel, and maddening things that Donald Trump has said, even with how deeply fearful and furious we all were, none of us imagined it could have led us here. 170,000 Americans have died. Millions are out of work. The news is filled with the unhinged ramblings of a narcissistic man who could not be further from the leader that we need and the leader that the American people deserve. In the past 3 months, I've seen my friends and colleagues stand up for equality and trailblaze with anti-racist education, work, and protests. My social media has been filled with activism and culture-changing conversations, and change has been made. But of course, there's infinitely more change that needs to happen. We know there's not a leader in the White House, but there are leaders in our community. There are leaders in America, and there are two incredible leaders running to be the president and vice president right now. And the only way we can make sure our voices are heard, our best interests are considered, our friends and family stay safe, healthy, and taken care of, is to vote Joe and Kamala into office. And I know we're all on the same page in this Zoom, but we all know someone who didn't vote in 2016. And we all know that this year we cannot survive that. And the stakes are higher than they have ever been. He's trying to take our voice. He's literally taking our mailboxes, and we cannot let him. This is an all hands on deck moment. Elizabeth Warren came to see Jagged Little Pill at ART in 2018, and we pleaded to her. I mean, I remember changing my costume so fast, running on stage to go meet her. And the first thing, we were all begging her, what can we do? And she said, we don't have the House. We don't have the Senate. We don't have the presidency. All we have left is our voice. And you all know how to use yours better than anyone. So go out and use it. So I carry her message, and I beg you, all we have left is our voice, and where we can really make change is in the voting booth. Vote early, vote now, and vote for Joe.
Oh, amazing. As I always say, vote early, vote often, just vote early. And we can tune back in to catch the end of Bloomberg. Or I could plug phone banking. Phone banking is a great way to get people to vote. It is actually the only tool that we really have in this election, seeing as we are all locked in our homes. We can't knock on doors. This is how Obama won in 2008, this senator that nobody knew. Obama won because not a single door went unknocked. The way in which we knock on doors this year is phone banking. It might sound scary. It's very weird to call strangers, but I promise you it's really fun. I have had the pleasure of talking to people who have opened up their hearts to me. One woman was setting up a graduation party for her daughter who was graduating as valedictorian, and she still took the time to talk to me. P.S. She was a nurse. So it actually is amazing. It will restore your soul and your faith in this country. And it is the necessary work that needs to be done for Joe and Kamala to get elected. I see my gorgeous Queen Julia Louis-Dreyfus is back on the screen, so I will shut up and let her do her thing.
Even given the surreal electronic distance environment of a pandemic, Joe Biden.
Wow. Friends! I say we all raise a glass. Can be whatever you
glass to freedom.
Raise a glass to freedom, Krystal. To 46.
46.
Cheers to 40 freaking 6.
Do the work. Let's get him in office.
Cheers. That was awesome.
I'm like wiping off my tears.
Central issue in this campaign.
Nailed it.
No mistake. That is left.
So,
he was so on it. Crushed it. Oh my gosh, look at these smiles. This is so beautiful. I feel bad for them. Without an audience, I mean, just imagine with the Zoom audience. I know.
Like that blows me
Great,
away.
though.
To no one. He just delivered the most beautiful speech.
That was unbelievable. That was truly.
And to
He nailed it.
To all
Did he nail it? He nailed it.
Nailed it.
Whew. To Joe, to Kamala, I feel revived. I mean,
Bill and Doug.
Kamala. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
Kamala, thank you.
Kamala. We'll get it.
I'm still practicing myself.
We'll get it.
Every time I think I get it.
All the people outside. Oh my gosh. Look at everyone in the parking lot.
It's amazing.
Well, we do have our after party. So we can kick it off with some vocals from a Lilli Cooper.
President Trump.
Yes.
So funny.
This is Broadway for Biden.
I'm broken down and tired.
They're doing it after party.
On a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out. Move mountains, we can walk it out. Move mountains, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and you know I feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, take the world to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
Amazing. God, what just the perfect song, really. Just gorgeous. We will rise up. Just want to take a second to thank one of our partners for this evening, Envoys for Humanity, doing the amazing work to get Joe Biden elected this election season. They do postcarding every week. And to talk about Envoys for Humanity, I'm going to introduce Jess Drass, who is here with us tonight from Jersey Girls for Joe.
Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for coming out to this. It's just incredible, right? Like beyond our even wildest dreams of what we were putting together. This event was just really amazing. And I have to say thank you to this really incredible partnership of all these different coalitions of grassroots groups, of the Women for Biden-Harris, Women of Color for Biden-Harris, the amazing Broadway for Biden team, the Envoys for Humanity, and My Voice, My Power, all coming together to really put on this incredible idea, this experiment that we did. So I want to just take a quick second to, if you haven't heard of or if you haven't checked out, go to envoysforhumanity.org. So what the Envoys are, in addition to some of my dearest friends that I met through joining this group of Envoys, they are a volunteer hub, a hub that connects different volunteer groups, grassroots groups. So they're providing a lot of the behind the scenes structure for us tonight. And every Tuesday night, we have our Zocalo Zoom. And so our next one is coming up this Tuesday, where we are postcarding. Let's see if you can see here. We are registering voters in Texas. So as of right now, Kari, I don't know if you can hear me. How many have we done so far? Postcards to get unregistered voters to register in Texas, because we are going to turn Texas blue. Do we know how many? I don't know if Kari's around. I think it's been close to like 10,000. Actually, no, it's been over 10,000 that we've written so far.
Over 10,000. I think they are now over 20,000, hitting the 25,000 mark.
So we are getting there. So join us, envoysforhumanity.org. And Tuesday evenings, we have our live music where we postcard and we listen to live music, we listen to activists. And then we also have Saturday afternoon where we postcard. So we would love to see you guys there. And thank you to Envoys for helping us put this whole event together. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your partnership. And I feel like there's really no better way to close out this evening than a little revisit from our friend Kathryn. I've been told you may be interested in singing a little ditty for us tonight. How you feel about that?
I feel really good about it.
So glad.
There's this song that has been one of my favorite songs since I was 15 years old, and recently I can't stop listening to it. So I hope you like it, and I hope you know it. And it's a sad picture. The final blow hits you. Somebody else gets what you wanted again. And you know it's all the same. Another time and place. Repeating history, and you're getting sick of it. But I believe in whatever you do. And I'll do anything to see it through, because these things will change. Can you feel it now? These walls that they put up to hold us back will fall down. This revolution, the time will come for us to finally win. And we'll sing hallelujah. We'll sing hallelujah. So we've been outnumbered, rated and down, cornered. It's hard to fight when the fight ain't fair. We're getting stronger now, found things they never found. Well, they might be bigger, but we're faster.
something in your eyes says we can beat this, 'cause these things will change. Can you feel it now? These walls that they put up to hold us back will fall down. It's a revolution. The time will come for us to finally win. We'll sing hallelujah. We'll sing hallelujah. Oh, tonight we'll stand and get off our knees, fight for what we've worked for all these years. And the battle was long. It's the fight of our lives. We'll stand up champions tonight. It was the night things changed. Can you see it now? These walls that they put up to hold us back fell down to revolution. Throw your hands up, 'cause we never gave in. We sing hallelujah. We sing hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah. It was a night things changed. That's a Taylor Swift song for anyone that doesn't know it. I know it's like a real old one, but you know.
We stand T Swift.
Always.
Like, I don't even want to, and I do. Like,
She's so good.
Oh, thank you everyone for coming. Stay in touch with us. We are Broadway for Biden. We are partnered with Women for Biden. We are doing so much because this is just the beginning. There are 75 days left until the election. Every single day counts. We have to get active. Just watching this, just being in this Zoom is not enough. We have to join. You have to join my phone banks. You don't have another option. I'm telling you now, you have to do it. You have to. I will see you every Monday. We have to contact voters in these swing states. Unfortunately, we deal with an electoral college and not a popular vote. So just being here in our bubbles doesn't count. We have to call these voters in swing states if we want to see Joe Biden elected, and we have to see Joe Biden elected. Join in the fight. Join us for our phone banks. Stay in touch with us. We're Broadway for Biden. Find us on Instagram. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. Find us on TikTok. We got some great stuff on there. I'm going to bring it over to Halle to bring us all home.
Thank you, Stephanie. And thank you to everyone that tuned in tonight. We so appreciate you spending the last day of the convention with us. Thank you to our incredible artists for sharing your souls, your spirits, your stories, your voices, and your time. And what we have right now is time, and it is our responsibility to make the most of it. So we at Broadway for Biden are doing what we can to do just that. So join us, BroadwayForBiden.com, Broadway for Biden across every social media. And as Stephanie said, we've got events every single week. We're really trying to make the most of these last 74 or 5 days. This was a really, really uplifting night, and I'm really happy to have shared it with you all. Thank you so much. And make sure you've got a plan to vote by November. But remember that voting is not enough. So please join us as volunteers. We look forward to seeing you. You will all be getting a follow-up email if you registered through Mobilize so that you know what's going on. And thank you again. And
Thank you so much.
Everyone. Yes, please feel free to come
absolutely
off the stage.
raise a glass. Terrific. Yes, we want to see a brand new America.
Who was that? I mean, this night wouldn't be complete, y'all. Just a reminder, keep fighting the fight Okay. Keep fighting the fight. Thank you.
Wow. We survived the Zoom bomb. Yeah.
I feel
at the end of the program.
I know. I mean, get the words out there.
We'll get through it.
America sucks. Yeah, what's up? Yo, bye.
All right, everyone, good night.